It was only third period, and it already felt like my soul was leaving my body. Kokichi seemed to be as bored as I felt. I sat close to him in almost every period. Was there a reason for this? Maybe all the teachers have similar seating charts. He and Nagito always sat in front of me or behind me. I'm not complaining. I do like being around them. I feel like we could all be friends. I feel weird around Kokichi. I know we just met today, but he just makes me feel so flustered, and whenever he says my name, my heart stops. No, no, no. There's no way I can already like him, right? What is he doing to me? Hey, Saichi, class is over, and it's lunch period. Do you want to come sit with me and Nagito and Hajime? He asked, putting his hand on top of my arm, making me blush and keep my head down, hat covering my eyes. His hand came to my hat, and he lifted that up just high enough so he could see my face, making my blush darken while I avoided his gaze. Saichi, I love your beautiful eyes. You should show them more often, he said, putting my hat back over my eyes before he leaned down to whisper in my ear. If you don't want to show anyone else, I would be fine if I was the only one who got that privilege, he said before he pulled me out of my seat and threw my bag at me. Well, if you take too long, I might leave you behind, my beloved, he said in a teasing tone, looking at me before turning his back and walking away from me. Wait! I yelled before running after him. Is he just doing this to mess with me? Or does he think of me? No, I shouldn't make assumptions, especially because of what I am now. Alright, here we are, Kokichi announced when we got to the roof and saw Nagito and Hajime already sitting down with their lunches in front of them. Hey, Saichi, did Kokichi drag you here? Hajime asked, giving me a sympathetic look. It made me wonder, has Hajime been dragged by him too, or was it Nagito? No, he didn't. I followed him here, I said in a whisper, making Kokichi put his arm around my shoulder. Well, I thought Shumai would be lonely because the only other person he talked to today was Kyoko, and she's no fun, so I thought I would bring him here, he said, moving to playfully hug my arm, making me blush again. Well, that does sound like you, Nagito said before turning back to Hajime. Well, if he is here now, we might as well have lunch with him, he announced, smiling at Hajime, who returned the gesture. Yeah, I think it's nice to have a new person to be friends with, Hajime said as Kokichi sat down next to Nagito, patting the ground next to him. Come on, Saichi, you can sit by me, he said with a smirk while I slowly sat next to him. I felt my phone buzz in my pocket, making me jump. Saichi? Kokichi asked from beside me from my sudden outburst. I pulled my phone out and looked at the screen, seeing a message from Kyoko. It's just Kyoko texting me about how my day has been, I said, looking down, not wanting them to give me any unwanted attention. Over the past 2 days, because of my new situation, I had to start drinking a substance that is similar to blood, but isn't, because I refuse to drink the blood of another human. I opened the conversation with her and saw that she was asking me if I had what I needed for my meal. I opened the lunch Kathy packed for me earlier this morning and checked the contents. There was some chopped up meat and a thermal flask. The meat is a good substitute for drinking blood. It helps keep your thirst for blood quenched for longer periods. If you don't quench your thirst, you may go crazy and just attack anyone you see until your body gets the blood it needs. I shivered, thinking that so many other people could be hurt if I'm not careful. Someone else could be in my situation because I let the thirst consume me. Saichi, are you alright? Kokichi whispered into my ear while Nagito and Hajime were having a conversation by themselves. I looked down at him and realized I was showing my fear on my face. I quickly put the best reassuring smile I could on my face. Yeah, I'm alright. How are you? I asked, trying to turn the spotlight on him. I mean, we are in a hellhole right now, but knowing I get to spend most of my time with you, it's not so bad, he said, leaning on my arm, making my blush darken. Oh, I said, not knowing how to respond to that statement. Kokichi didn't say anything. He was just focusing on Nagito and Hajime's conversation. I turned my focus to my food and started taking small bites of the meat and sips of the substance in the thermo flask. Kokichi would occasionally look over at me with curiosity before turning back to the conversation. I sighed. Is this how my life is going to be? Why does this have to be me? The bitterness from the fluid and the raw meat filled my senses. Before I would have probably vomited or gagged when I had to eat this. But now it disgusts me that I find it so delicious. I'm so repulsive. I don't understand why Kokichi wants to be close to me. I'm too dangerous. Saichi? Kokichi spoke up, cutting off my train of thought. Yeah, Kokichi? I asked, wondering why he was talking to me. Do you want to come over to my house after school to get some homework done? He said, looking away from me. You want me to? I asked. Yeah, you need to get caught up, right? And I told you I was going to help you. So come over to my house today after school. He said in a teasing tone at the end before being more serious about catching me up. Why is he so confusing? I felt my hand move to his neck and caressed the skin with my fingers. Saichi? He asked, snapping me out of it, making me pull my hand away, making him jump. Sorry, I yelled, making Nagito and Hajime look over at me. What was I about to do? I looked at my hands. They were shaking. I could feel myself drool over the fact that his neck was so close to me. I put my hands over my mouth, face paling. It's okay, Saichi. Sometimes I want to touch you too, he said in a flirtatious tone, making me get even more confused and flustered. What is happening?